Hello, I'm Iftikhar Khan from K12 to STEMcareer.com. Today I'm going to teach you how to teach your child to read in 100 days or less. I'm sure you're aware that it's really important that your child reads at an early age. You may not have read all the research that clearly points to the fact that children that read at an early age have an advantage over their peers, but you know that this is an important skill. And the question for you is, how do you teach your child to read at an early age? Well, I'm going to show you how. If you know anything about me, you know I love to read, and it was really important for me to teach my children this behavioral skill. So, as Rizwan was approaching his 4th birthday, I started to do a bunch of research on the web. Now, there was everything on the market from flashcards to DVDs to YouTube videos, and including very cool iPad apps. But what I found was most effective, according to my research, was an inexpensive book on Amazon.com, a more than 30-year-old book called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I decided to give this a try. What I found is that both for Rizwan and Khadija, this book was really, really, really good. In less than 100 days, actually, and call it 50 to 60 days, both of my kids became very proficient at reading simple sentences and began to gain the confidence and the love of reading. From there, their reading has flourished, and they both now are prolific readers. So let me walk you through how the process works, because it is a unique process, and what the difference with this method is, it's not going to be something that you can just turn a TV on and just walk away and let your child just kind of repeat, or an educational app where the child is basically just in their own world and playing with the app. You're going to have to get involved with your kid. But that is part of the reason why I think this method is so special. So how does the book work? Well, the book follows 3 effective ways to teach reading. The first is that the lessons are very simple, especially the beginning lessons. The beginning lessons do not resemble what the later lessons look like. Start is all about teaching the system and creating a foundation for your child. The program provides teaching for every single skill that your student needs to start reading. From lesson to lesson, the changes are very, very small. And this allows your child to build some confidence and momentum. So one of the first things you have to remember when teaching your child to read is that English is actually a pretty hard language to learn. Many of the words that you actually read do not sound the way they are pronounced. So for example, the word said is not pronounced the way it sounds, which is S-E-D, right? Even words like the or what don't sound the way they are spelled. So this makes it very hard for children to know how to pronounce letters, as depending on the scenario, the pronunciation is different. In the sentence, Sam had spam, the letters all have the same sound, right? So it's Sam had spam. The A makes the same sound throughout the sentence. However, he and she go to the lake is much more complex, because the E in he is very different from the E in the, which is very different from the E in lake, right? The E in he has a sound like E. The E in the has a sound like and the E in lake, it's silent. You can't even hear it. So the way the book solves this pronunciation problem and complexity is it teaches an alphabet called the Diftar alphabet. What this does is it creates a unique alphabet for every different pronunciation of a letter. For example, the letter A can be pronounced as a, as in and, or as in a, as in eight, or as in r, as in car, or as in a, as in rain. So there are 4 different sounds for the letter A, and this book will teach your child the 44 different sounds and a variety of common words they are used in. To teach your child to read, you're going to have to first teach yourself how to pronounce those 44 different letters, called the Diftar alphabet. What are the keys to success for using the book? Take the time before the lesson starts to learn the correct pronunciation of any letters you're going to teach your child. You'll confuse your child if you are confused. And trust me, you're going to be confused, as this isn't an alphabet you've seen before. But also trust me in saying that this unique alphabet works in helping your child understand the different sounds that letters make. I know this works because I saw the fantastic results that happened with Khadija and Rizwan, my kids. Second thing you must do with this method is saying the words slowly and pronouncing the words without pausing between the sounds. So you as a parent are going to have to learn how to read this new alphabet, and this is going to take some time up front. So let me show you how this is going to work. So here's lesson 1 in your book, Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. You can see the first, call it 20 pages, are all about teaching the method of the book. So this is what the one part of the book that you absolutely cannot skip. It's called the pronunciation guide. And before every lesson, I would strongly suggest you as a parent need to come over here and take a look at what new sounds are you going to be learning in the lesson or teaching your child in the lesson, and make sure you know how to pronounce it yourself. So in the first lesson, the first 2 sounds you learn are M and S. And it tells you that M is pronounced as in ram. And S is pronounced S as in bus. And so it's really important that you understand this. So what you're going to see when you look at the diphthong processes is that a lot of these letters are actually new to you. You've never seen these type of letters before. For example, have you ever seen this before? That type of symbol? No, you probably have not. And you're probably wondering, what is a Y with a dash above it? And so before you sit down with your child, make sure that you come here and take a look to understand what is the pronunciation for each of these letters. It will make a huge difference. If you're trying to learn this in front of your kid is going to get confused. So make sure you come to the pronunciation guide first to learn how to pronounce the sounds. Okay, so let's get to lesson 1. And like I said earlier in lesson 1, you're going to teach your child 2 sounds. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to follow the instructions. They're very simple. It says there, I'm going to touch under this sound and say the sound. Your turn to say the sound when I touch under it. And get ready. And this is where your child then says, And you basically have them do it again. Then you come down here and do the same thing with this sound. And you ask your child to do the same thing. Okay? Then you go to task 2. And in task 2, you say, let's play say it fast. My turn. Motor, boat. Say it fast. Motorboat. Ice cream. Ice cream. Sister. Sister. Hamburger. Hamburger. Me. Me. If. What's happening here is that the child is learning the relationship between sounds and saying it fast. When you read, you essentially are saying a collection of sounds. You're just reading them very quickly. And so what you want to do is teach your child how to pronounce out sounds, and then over time just to combine them and say it fast. In task 3, you just continue to work on saying sounds. So I'm going to say some words slowly without stopping. Then you'll say them with me. First I'll say am slowly. Am slowly. Listen. Am. Now I'll say me slowly. Me. Now it's your turn to say the word slowly with me. Take a deep breath and we'll say am. And right here you can see that the book is basically telling you that if the child stops between sounds, for example, as in then you basically say, don't stop, listen. Right? And so the book is constantly giving you the skills that you need to teach to your child how to read well. Along with learning to read, your child's going to learn to write. And so what you'll do every day is you'll take a blank piece of paper and you'll see how I created lines to indicate the top and the bottom of the letter. And you'll write out the letters that the book tells you to write. So in the first lesson is telling you to write the letters and s, the 2 sounds. And what you'll do is you'll trace out those 2 letters. And you'll have your child write over them. And then you can see I've left space for my child to basically write out over here and s over here. Now, I'm going to warn you, at first, your child's going to have a really hard time with this exercise, and so it's your job to be very patient and very encouraging through that process. And what you'll see in a matter of 3 or 4 days, your child's handwriting is going to significantly improve. So the next day in lesson 2, you'll reinforce lesson 1, giving your child an opportunity to show off their ability to sound out and s, as well as saying certain letters slow and then fast, such as am and then am. The one new item for day 2 is your child will continue to trace the letters you wrote, but you will now leave space for them to write themselves. As noted earlier, the first few lessons are very repetitive and designed to build credibility. Your child needs to go slow to go fast. Be patient. And on day 3, your child is going to learn a new letter. Ah, the letter A. They'll also learn how to sound out their first word. Am. So here is lesson 10. Your child will know the pronunciation of 6 letters. And they now know how to pronounce words such as see and me. You're going to be blown away to see how emotional it is to see your child start to read. So here's lesson 20. Your child is going to be reading words such as mad, sat, rat, and starting to read sentences such as the ram is sad. What the book is going to start to do here is they're going to start to have your child read the sentence and start to look at pictures and understand the relationship between the words and the pictures. They'll read the story 3 times, and the 3rd time, instead of sounding it out like the ram is sad, they'll actually say the ram is sad. And lastly, the book will basically then ask your child to find certain words. So find the word ram. By the end of month 1, your child can read this sentence. This is a cat. The cat can run. Mud is on the cat. And full disclaimer, this is going to take 15 to 20 minutes of your time each day. But I can't stress enough the value of the process. And the results that you're going to see are going to make it all completely worth it. Your child is also going to be able to answer basic questions about what they are reading, such as, what is on the cat? They're also tested in word finding and encouraged to read the story 3 times. Like I said earlier, for the 3rd time, the child is encouraged not to sound out the letters and instead read the words fast. By lesson 40, your child understands how quotation marks signal that somebody is saying something. The cow sat on a little gate. The cow said, quotation marks, the gate is hot, end quotation marks. She said, I hate hot gates. She said, I will run now. By the end of month 2, your child can read a story that has a title, The Man and His Bed. A man had a tub. He said, I'd like to sit in this tub and rub, rub, rub. Then the man said, now I'll sleep in this bed. But a dog was in his bed. The dog said, can I sleep in this bed? The man said, no, go sleep in the tub. The dog said, I like to sleep in beds. The man said, this dog likes to sleep in beds, so he can sleep with me. But I do not like dogs that bite. The dog said, I do not like to bite. So the man and the dog went to sleep, and the dog did not bite the man. Pretty impressive, huh? And you can see how the distar letters are different from the words that you and I are familiar with. Like, look at this I. Look at this E. But trust me, this process really works. By the end of the 100th lesson, your child will no longer be using the distar letters, but will have understood the relationship between regular letters and is able to read a complex book story like this. Pretty impressive, huh? The truth is that neither of my children made it past the 60-day point. By now, they had gotten so much confidence from actually learning how to read that they moved on to other books, and their reading capability significantly increased from that point. Now, there's a reason why over 500,000 copies of this book have been sold. With just 20 minutes a day, over a couple of months, your child will learn to love to read. The memories that you'll make by spending 15 minutes a day with your child teaching them to read will be priceless. And I'm sure your kids will also look back fondly many years from now with gratitude to you for taking the time to spend with them learning how to read. I know that my evening ritual with my kids has had a significant positive impact in their lives and have given them the tool for them to self-learn. So if you know a child that is about to turn 4, or you have a child that is a little bit older but is still struggling with reading, and I can't stress enough, get this book. It is fantastic. It is inexpensive. It's less than $15 on Amazon.com. And if you go to my blog, I have an affiliate link that will take you there. I get a little bit of a commission if you click that link, but there's no cost to you. So I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I wish you well on your journey towards reading with your child. If you did like the video, please do give it a thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button right below the video. Consider sharing it with your friends, and consider subscribing so that you can get the latest, greatest content from K-12 to STEMcareer.com as we deliver it. We've got a lot more toys, STEM toys, that we're going to be reviewing over the next couple of weeks, and I look forward to sharing those toys with you. Thanks.